What's going on, team? Welcome to this weekend's weekly market breakdown. Give me 1 second before we start. I want to make sure everything is good. It's been a little bit testing. Perfect. There, myself. We give everybody 2 minutes to join, and then we'll get started. 11:02 a.m. We'll get started. For everybody that's new here, make sure you guys join the Discord. The link, I will post it right now in the chat. It's also down in the description if you guys want to click on that. What we'll be doing this week, let me post the link. Alright, link has been posted. What we're gonna be doing in this session, we're pretty much gonna go over every single pair we look at throughout the week. Starting off with AU, finishing off with USOIL. Again, gonna go over the ones with the red flag just to not confuse everybody. We're gonna go over the daily time frame, talk about the overall market makers pattern, where we are in the pattern, what we're looking for. In the 4-hour time frame, pretty much same thing. Look at the 4-hour highs, the 4-hour lows, look at market structure. Are we trading against the trend, with the trend? Same thing at 30-minute. Once we go down to the 30-minute, we'll start looking at the 30-minute highs, the 30-minute lows, market structure in the current day-to-day basis, and see if we could look for any entries that look good for the start of the week. So, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Any other pairs you guys want me to go over, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. I am still a little bit sick, so you guys could hear it in my voice. So I'm sorry if I have to take a pause to breathe or take a sip of water. Still a little congested, but luckily I was sick for a few days, but it was nothing too crazy, just tired and congested and stuff like that. Didn't get any coughs or anything like that, so that's good. But yeah, so we'll be back to normal in our regular schedule. For this week, we'll be live again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. We'll be live at 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern for the market breakdown, the isolation session. And then again, we do these sessions on the weekend, usually on Sundays. So make sure you guys tune in. Give everybody a few more seconds and then we'll get started. Alright, I'm back. My bad. I went to go get a cup of water. Hope you got better. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I should be good by the end of the week. Usually when I'm sick, it like the first couple days, the first like 3 days are pretty bad. Um, so it's been like 5 days now, and I'm definitely feeling better than I did the last 2 days, man. That was brutal. I was like waking up and I just felt so tired. Alright, so let's get started again, guys. Any questions, let me know about any pair, anything at all, anything you guys want me to explain against, something that didn't make sense, just let me know and we'll go over them. It shouldn't be too long of a session. Could be like an hour, hour and a half. We are gonna update again, like I said, the daily time frame, the full hour and the 30 minutes. So it'll definitely take us about an hour, hour and a half. There's a few updates that I already did as well, so that could be part of the reason why we could be a little bit of a faster session for today. But regardless, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. So starting off with AU, we know we are in A2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the bottom, right? And we know that price has reached back to the top of the zone of consolidation, which is perfect, right? Once again, we're still in this little zone where price rejected lows, rejected highs, went back down to the lows, rejected lows, went back down to the middle, or went up to the middle, right? Then it started rejecting lows. 1, 2, 3, went back up to the middle, right? Pretty much these highs that are up here that we've rejected every single time we've reached, right? So we're in a situation where we could still see in the daily time frame. Let me go ahead and delete some of these drawings real quick. We're in the daily time frame. We're at the top of the zone of consolidation. We have 2 weeks of counter rise, so we know that price is still giving us higher highs and higher lows, right? We know that price could continue this uptrend push up until the daily high up here, right? But we also know that this is the first, we could say, line of defense as to where traders are going to be manipulated, right? People are going to see this as a break of structure to continue, and this is where stop losses are being hit, right? So daily time frame, we're still up. We're still making higher highs, higher lows. We still have 2 months of rise, this month being the 3rd month. Price already gave us that new high with the wick, right? And then started that push back down to the bottom. But could it still be a higher high, higher low? Absolutely. So what do we need to look for? We need to look for that change of character. We need to look for that break of structure to then look for a continuation. Forward time frame, we're looking good, right? Price is still up. We're still making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Could this still be a higher low? Absolutely. We have all of this for price to still be a higher low. So price could push into this 4-hour low, price could then break, and this is where we'll get that change of character to the continue. And then internally, we can see how price is turning back around too. Right now, internally, after the daily time frame gave us a higher high, after the 4-hour gave us a higher high, now we're seeing that pullback, right? And right now, in the 30-minute time frame, internally we had that change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low, gave us a little zone of consolidation and continued that price, that push on Friday. Didn't really give us a nice pullback, just consolidated between the 23.6 and continued that push down to the bottom. So this is where we have 2 days of drop. Could we expect price to continue on Sunday, tonight going into Monday? It could. We're below the 800 EMA as well now. We broke below the 800, so that's another good indicator. It's a good indicator to let us know that price is going to continue that downtrend push. Right, so I'm putting my boxes on my 30-minute highs and 30-minute lows. Right, we had this break here in the 30-minute low. Alright, now we're trading between this 30-minute lower high, and lower low. We have 2 days of drop. Alright, so on the daily time frame, we already know we did end on 2 months of rise. In the 4 hour, we know we had 3 weeks of rise. Last week being the 4th week, we know price was gonna drop or drop. Chop or drop, it dropped. But we're still in the higher low. We're still looking for price to give us that higher low push, which could be again what we're looking for. So we'll continue to monitor AU for this week. Again, we already had that change of character. We had the break of structure. We broke below the 800 EMA. Could look for continuation. So AU is looking good for this week. We also had a 4 hour engulfing. Did we get that retest? We did at the top of the zone. So that was another confirmation that price was going to continue. So AU is definitely looking good. Euro AUD. Daily time frame, we're in V2. We're in that second zone of consolidation, looking for that third push to the top side. Similar to AU, just opposite. Right, we're in an uptrend for this one. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. This is where we'll be looking for that safety trade. And once again, very similar to AU, we have 2 points where price is going to hold. We're either going to hold at these lows, where price is currently at, to then continue, or price is going to still go and fake out and go into our 4 hour and daily low. And this is where price is going to turn around. But we got to wait for that internal shift of character to then continue. The same way we did here, the same way we did here, right? The same way we did here. We got to wait for that same shift. So right now, EA, we're still going down. We have 2 months to drop, this month being the 3rd month. We can see we made that new low. Right, let's delete some of these drawings too. Let's look at these lows. We're looking for an anchor, a higher time frame anchor. Could be a engulfing candle. Did we get a valid engulfing candle in the daily time frame? No. The second red candle didn't close below the first red candle's wick. That second green candle, very close. It closed below the first red candle's wick as well. So this is not a valid engulfing candle. Go to the 4 hour. Again, we're still trading between the same 4 hour high and 4 hour low. So we know all of this is just a zone consolidation. We're back at the lows. And we can still see internally price giving us lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Right, so again, could this be a lower high to continue into lower lows? It could. We have also, take a step back. We had 1 week of drop, 2 weeks of drop. On the 3rd week, gave us a new low. This week, price gave us a no net. So once again, price is either going to rise or give us a no net after 3 weeks, and it gave us a no net. So price reset, we could still be trading between, again, this lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? So could price continue to go higher, give us a retest to continue? It could happen. Or vice versa, could price just be looking at the internal time frame and just be looking for a retest here to continue, which is what we'll see in the 30-minute time frame. Right, so let's delete first. Right, if you guys could see what we drew in the 4 hour time frame and now put it in the 30-minute, you see how traders are getting trapped. Right, this first retest is where we'll see price either reject these highs and continue going short, or this is where we'll see price give us that break of structure to then continue. And notice what price is doing here after the internal shift. Lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character. Price didn't really give us a retest, or I'm sorry, a pullback, just kind of consolidated. Trap traders, right? The news that hit fake traders out to then continue going high. But same thing, it was just a wick in the candle. That it was just a wick that created that break. And every candle after that just continued to test. Right? No candle closed above that first green candle's wick. All of them closed below, and they're all touching the break of structure line. So again, could this be the rejection of the highs? This is what we're waiting for Sunday, Monday. If we get a continuation on this and we get that break of structure, this is where we'll continue to go high. But if we look for price If we see price rejecting these highs and breaking below the structure, this is where we'll know if price is going to give us a steeper pullback or not. So EA structure is actually really nice right now. So I hope that's making sense, guys. Let me know if it's not. Right, the whole break of structure, how we're lining it up, how do we know where this is going to be a rejection, what's a real break of structure, all of that is very important. That allows you to know, okay, well, let's start putting the pieces together. Right, daily time frame, we know this could be a low if we're looking for price to go long, right, which is what we're looking for in the overall market makers pattern. Right, the overall movement, we know that we're in a lower low. Could we continue the push to the top side? Of course, again, we could just continue into a lower high. So then we start putting that in the 30-minute. In the 30 minutes, like, okay, cool. Let's start putting our entries together. The bounce off the 50 EMA, check, we're doing that. A change of character and a break of structure. Well, we know we don't have a break of structure yet, so we still gotta wait for that. If we get a break of structure, if we get a clean, clear break of structure with a pullback to the 50 EMA, we know we could take that trade. Let's start putting the rules together again. 50 EMA, what do we also line that up with? The fib. Let's say we got a pullback. Let's say we get that break of structure. Break of structure is going to be somewhere up in these highs. The pullback, where's that pullback going to be? 50%. Lines up with the 50 EMA. Lines up with the break of structure retest. Right, to continue that push. So once you start lining up all your rules and you really start taking a step by step, game changer. Right, this is how you avoid getting faked out. So we know that for EA, the number one thing we gotta wait for now to continue on to look for an entry, we need to see a break of structure. If we don't get a break of structure, we don't have an entry. So let's say price opens up Sunday, Monday, it just gives us a pullback. I'm not taking this trade. The only way I'm taking this trade is if price gives me a break of structure with a pullback, and this is where we'll take that trade. We'll have a stop loss somewhere here, TP'd over here. We'll leave this here and we'll come back to this Monday morning. Tomorrow morning we'll see how this plays out and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Right, very simple trade. EA would be a very simple trade starting off the week. So EA really the one on the top of my list. Let's see, we don't have any engulfing candles in the 4 hour, nothing on the 1 hour, and the 30-minute, nothing. So, alright. Let's see, let's keep going. EURCAD, daily time frame. We are V1. We're still at the top of the zone of consolidation. We're at the top of the daily high. We still don't have that break of structure. We know that price is still in this internal little zone of consolidation where we're rejecting highs and lows, rejecting highs again, going back low. And we also know we have this internal 30-minute gap. So again, we know a pullback was gonna happen, right? The question for this was, for us when we were back here in August, are we gonna get the break of structure to confirm that we are leaving the zone of consolidation, right? To then get a pullback and then get a continuation to start that level 2 push to the top side? Or is price just going to reject the highs to continue down back to the low of the zone of consolidation? Right? To do something like this. So right now what is looking like is that price is just going to continue these downtrend pushes back down to the low of the zone of consolidation. Now, could we be wrong and could price just be doing the same thing that we're looking for if we would have gotten the break of structure, but it's just giving us a pullback first? Could happen, right? It's a very high possibility as well. But then this is where, again, our internal time frame rules are going to come into play. Well, if price breaks these lows, then we know it is also going to just continue the downtrend push. So kinda you have to look at it as a macro view first and then go into the micro view. Right, look at it in the daily time frame and start putting the pieces together. Right now, when you go into the 4 hour, right, we know again we're not in any continuations. Price is just kind of just moving sideways here, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, back to the lows. We have a week of drop, This week we have 2 weeks. So again, could this be a continuation to continue going short? Absolutely. Let's add a few lines here. Real quick. We have no engulfing candles. Again, we're on the 800 EMA. We still haven't broken below the 800. We're still testing it. Could we be looking for just an internal pullback to continue going short? Would make sense. We were trading here. What's good, Mohammed? My bad, I was just doing this internally in my brain real quick. I was like, what did I mark up here? Why do I have this big zone for? This is why I did a one-on-one on this and I deleted my lines by accident, but I think I just had this marked where this was an entire zone. No, I messed up my drawings here somewhere. So let me take a step back. Right, we had this break. Let me update this real quick with you guys. How you feeling, bro? Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. Definitely, I feel a lot better in the sense like these last couple days I've just been super tired. Still a little congested, so I feel still like a little sluggish, but I'm doing way better for sure. You'll probably hear it in my voice. I still kind of sound a little sick. Right, I would put all of this as pullback. And the reason I would do that is just for the internal time frame. Alright, so we could say change of character. We have the break of structure, which if we zoom in, can't say that about this candle. But if it would have looked something like this, where we had that break, because this one did close above the first, and then we had the pullback, right? And then the beginning of this 30-minute day also just opened with a gap. I would look at this as just one move, right? We had the break of structure, pullback, continue, and this is where they had the internal change of character, right? Pullback, break of structure, right? And then in this break of structure, we just had price give us the inducement of the highs, right? Which happened here. And if you see how this is the inducements, technically, right? This is the last pullback that we had. This was that previous high. And look at how price reacted here. We never had a clean break of structure. So this was really the break of structure. This was the inducement on Friday before the news. You see how price gave you that shoulder head shoulder, bloop, and went down. And this is just, when we go into the lower time frame, this is just a clean type 1 pattern. And we'll see that in the 5-minute time frame if you want a little bit more candles. Right? Yeah, you could even go into the 1 minute. This was very clean in the 1 minute. How many pips is this? 80? Wow. EURCAD could be a very good one starting off October. You can catch trades like this in the 1 minute time frame. Hell yeah. Right? Type 1 pattern. What are we looking for? Price consolidates, goes to the highs, gives you the inducement, gives you that double top, to then continue. And then any entries up here were valid. Yeah, do we have an internal engulfing candle? It looks like we probably did. No. Nothing in the one, nothing in no time frame, no engulfing candles, but that one pretty nice pullback on those. So anyway, we have 2 weeks to drop. We know we're looking for that pullback either way to the bottom of the 30-minute gap. So hope that's making sense, guys. Again, if you need me to explain something, let me know. So we have a day of drop on this one, 30-minute low. I'm gonna keep it this way still. We still don't have a break there, but we know that we have the internal change of character, break of structure, and we're trading now between this low still and these highs. I gotta change this. Get to this high over here. So we got a clean break. Once we get that clean break down here, then we'll change it, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, and then to whatever price wants to do. Now what's that line? That's the daily high. Okay. So EURCAD, we'll still wait it out. We'll wait for more confirmations to then continue. And again, I don't trade going counter, so I'll be waiting for those pullbacks to finish to then continue the trend. EURUSD, we are in V1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, very similar to EURCAD, right? I was really looking for a break of structure to happen first to then continue the trend down to give us a pullback to then continue the uptrend push for level 2 to continue the push to the top side. However, price again just gave us that push to the high, rejected the highs twice, gave us a external. You could even see it in the daily time frame, just double top and then just continue the trend. Continued the pullback back down to the bottom. We had 2 months of rise. Last month of September for the 3rd month ended up giving us a no net. So gave us a rise no net. We'll mark that up as a rise no net. Hey Albert, good morning, good morning. Right, so let's see. I have this marked. I did a one-on-one. I don't know if I went over this on the final last session that we did, but I'm not mistaken. I think I talked about this on one of the live sessions in the morning, right? Because we had a question as why didn't this engulfing candle work, right? The daily engulfing that we had here that would have given us an entry, right, on Friday, which was this pullback that we had, right, which was Thursday, Friday. So this goes into the question, right? Why didn't this engulfing candle work if we were trading an uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. Why didn't this continue? And this is where we were talking about in the 4-hour time frame, where what do we have to see before we could catch an entry in a higher high, right? When we're trading with the trend, once again, the trend, when you're not in a long situation, uptrend, you have higher highs and higher lows, right? Every single time you get a higher low, what do you get before the higher low, right? Before a higher low could be created, right? Higher high, higher low. Before this higher low was created, what needed to happen? What sequence of events needed to happen for this higher low to be valid, right? You got a higher high. You got a break of structure, right? You got the break of structure. You got a higher high. You got a higher low. So if you follow the same sequence of events, for a higher low to be valid, what needed to happen? You needed to get a break of structure. You needed to get a higher high. Did we get that break? No. So we already know that this entry, it doesn't matter if, oh, but this is an extended double bottom and you have a break of structure in the neckline and the order block fair value gap, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is how you could differentiate high probability versus low probability. It doesn't matter what you see down here. If you don't get that higher high, you're not going to get that higher low. It's that simple. Will there be instances where, yeah, you got a higher low? Yeah. But then that goes into now the lower time frame. The lower time frame, 30-minute. Did it ever change of character? Did it ever shift? Or did we continue to make lower lows, lower highs the entire time? It's that simple, right? So we already know that price is breaking below our zones. And we also know that price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. Why would we enter going long if price is still going short? It doesn't make sense. Right now, if price would have given us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, higher high. Oh shit, maybe higher high, boom, higher low, higher high. Then we continue. Yeah, then maybe. But why would you be taking longs when price is still giving you lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low? Doesn't make sense. So Euro USD, we're still waiting. Price is still pushing down. Right, let me go ahead and delete some of these drawings real quick too. Let's update the 30-minute. So we have a day of drop. Price ended up giving us a bearish 4-hour open. And we know we're still trading now between this lower low down here and these lower highs. Since these are very small zones, I'm gonna put the highest point, but I'm gonna also put like the last green candle before the actual push, since it was also a news candle move, to kind of have more space for price to do what it has to do. Right, so let's go to the daily time frame. Let's delete this daily engulfing. Right, I hope that made sense, guys. Let me know if it didn't. But that was the reason why, you know, price just didn't do what it had to do technically, because I mean it is doing what it has to do. It's going to the previous higher low. Right, so now price is on the 800 EMA. Could this be where price is gonna turn back around and do what we were expecting for here? It could happen. In the 4-hour time frame, higher high, higher low. Okay, this is where I was also giving that question, right? Just because this candle closed above here never gave us a real break, I didn't put this as a break, right? So we can't say that this is a higher low, higher high. This never broke. So in the 4-hour time frame, we know we were still trading between this high, right, and these 4-hour lows. So could price push into the 4-hour lows, which is also where the 800 EMA and everything is? Yeah, absolutely. Could we close a little bit higher like where we're at now? Of course. But we gotta wait for that internal shift. We have to see that 30-minute higher high and higher low before we could continue that push. Without that break of structure, without that higher high, we can't take those trades. So EU is looking good. We're getting close to our targeted zone. GA, we're in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third push to the top side, very similar to the other pairs. Right, price rejected the highs, rejected the lows, rejected the highs again, gave us an exhaustion candle, and then started to push back down to the bottom. So we're in a situation where, again, is price just going to come back down to these lows? Is price going to go back down to these lows? We just got to wait for that to happen. We have no continuations either. At this moment, it looks like price wanted to give us a engulfing candle, but we didn't quite make it. Right, first two candles, red candles, beautiful, closed below the first, engulfing. Green candle gave us a bottom wick, gave us a nice push, but it looks like price is not going to finish above the first red candle's wick. So we don't have that kind of an anchor yet. In the 4-hour time frame, again, we still trade between the same 4-hour high and 4-hour low as the daily high and the daily low on this one. We could still see price giving us lower lows and lower highs, and we ended up, we're pretty close to this being a no nav. 32 pips is pretty far down. We'll mark it as a drop. We'll update it tomorrow morning if we have to into a no nav, but I'm sure we'll finish down. So we have 2 weeks to drop. We're still making lower lows, lower highs. Could this continue that push down to the bottom? Of course. And again, that's going counter, so I'm not going to be looking for those trades. we ended up having lower low, lower high, lower low, and price gave us a change of character here. Still not a solid break, it's still just wicks, but since it is the 30-minute time frame, I'm still gonna mark this as now lower low, higher high. But again, I want to see a clean break before anything else. So, or could this be again a lower time frame inducement? It looks like it could be. Start looking for price to give us lower lows and lower highs in the internal time frame, and we'll start that push to the bottom side, back down to the bottom. So we'll see. GCAD, nothing really for GA if I didn't make that clear. Not really gonna be looking for anything just yet on GA. GCAD is good, right? It broke above our first zone of consolidation. We're on that second level push to the top side. Perfect, right? We have push 1, first zone of consolidation. This is push number 2. So at this point, I was expecting a pullback on this one of some sort. Looks like price, obviously price didn't want to do that. It just continued to make those internal moves, which is all good. It happens. So could we expect price to now give us that steep pullback that we've been looking for a few weeks? Could happen, right? We can still see how our time frame, we had higher high, higher low, right? We had the break happened here, higher high, right? And now we're looking for, okay, is price gonna give us a higher low? Where is it gonna give it to us to give us that higher high? Pause. Right? We knew that we had to pull back into these areas down here, and this is where price now internally, right? We started looking at the internal time frame. This is where we'll start wanting to look for price to give us higher highs and higher lows. And right now we can see that price gave us a higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character, lower low, consolidation, right? And then gave us a break of structure, lower low, lower high to where we're at now. So 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, market was chopper rise. It ended up giving us a rise. So could price continue? It could. This could be the lower high to continue to a lower low for price to give us that steeper pull back into these areas instead of it being the internal area that we have here. So we know that step number 1 is going to be price breaking these lows to then continue, and then pretty much step number 2 would be these lows here. If price breaks below these lows, then we know price is going to continue all the way back down to our daily and 4-hour low. And then again, price is going to make a decision to continue, reject the lows and continue, or if it breaks below, it could give us a steeper pullback, which would be now in the daily time frame. But right now, these two zones that we have marked is pretty much just the previous higher high and higher low in the 4-hour time frame. So right now we have to wait for price to give us that change of character in the internal time frame. At this point too, we're pretty close from the opening candle, so I don't want to mark this one just yet. Could be a day of rise, it could be a no net. Either or resets the trend. So on tomorrow morning we'll update this one and we'll see how price continues to look. Man, I'm freezing. That's the only thing I hate about being sick. Like, I feel like I'm just so cold. And I'm in a hoodie. Yeah, I'm comfortable. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. Any pairs in specific that you guys want me to, particular that you guys want me to look at, let me know. Is there any pairs specifically? Doesn't have to be the ones just on our list. Or anything you guys want me to explain, anything that's not making sense, let me know. Right, so GJ, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. Right, externally, we're still trading between the same higher high, higher low. We have 2 months where price was pretty much just moving sideways. Sorry about that. I hope you recover quickly. I appreciate that, Albert. So 2 months where price is just moving sideways, right? But we understand that it was following the uptrend from the higher time frame, which is again where we're trading this higher low, higher high into the higher low. So in the lower time frames, Going into the 4 hour, we can see price giving us lower low, lower high, lower low. Price is still, again, price could make lower highs here, 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 right? It has all of this area to make lower highs. So price could continue to use the 4 hour time frame to just continue to trap traders in the higher time frame, trap traders in the 30-minute time frame, right? Making them believe in the internal time frame that this is where price is shifting, and then turning it back around, right? For the people in the higher time frame trading these going long, right? And then this is again where price could continue to trap traders, make them believe that this is where price is going to continue to go long. But again, if we don't get a break of structure, which we haven't gotten, price could just continue to go short, and it trapped the traders going long who thought this was a double bottom. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of pieces right now on GJ that they're scattered, right? We could see exactly what GJ wants to do, but in order to complete the trend that it needs to do, in order for us to complete the puzzle, we need to be able to see the pieces in order, right? They can't just be scattered around. We have to look for the pieces, right? Put the edges with the edges, the corners with the corners, whatever the case is, right? So we don't have that right now on GJ. There's too much going on, way too much going on. So for me personally, again, GJ is not a pair that I'm actively going to be trading. Let me delete some of the drawings here so we have a clean board. We don't have any continuations either. We have a week of rise. Previous week to that, we had a week of drop. 30-minute time frame. Still trading between the same 30-minute high and 30-minute low as the 4-hour high and 4-hour low. This entire thing in the middle is just fake outs the entire time. So we also don't have any continuations. We have no 3 days of rise, no 3 days of drop. So just another day of price playing in the casino, I guess. That's what we'll call this. Give me 1 second, guys. USDCAD, I got you with USDCAD earlier. USDCAD is one that's on our list. I go in order, so we're almost at that one. I'm missing 2 more pairs. I want to get to USDCAD. USDCAD is a good one too. That was a really good one for last month to be looking at. GU. We know we're in V1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the top side. So GU is also very nice. We broke above our first zone of consolidation. We started that level 2 push. We got the break of structure. We got the pullback in the internal time frame. Higher low to then continue into the higher high, which was also just a continuation for a 3rd month high, which we ended up getting. It was a clean 3rd month high, so now we're looking for price give us a pullback. Even though we got this 3rd month high, right, that daily push to the top side, the pullback is a daily pullback. So we know that we're still trading between this higher low down here and this higher high. So we have all of this zone to get a pullback. However, I'm not expecting price to give us this entire pullback. Why? Because for us to continue a pullback down into these areas, price needs to break these lows. 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 These lows. And then we'll go down to the bottom. So then we start looking at, okay, we know we're in an uptrend. We start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Well, okay. In level 2, what are we looking for? We're looking for a price to bounce off the 200 EMA. Perfect. So this is line of defense number 1. Cool. Line of defense number 2, what is it? Well, what was the last pullback, right? What was the last push that made the break? It was these lows down here. So we understand, right? We're looking for the last red candle before the break, which happened here, right? So I'm actually just gonna mark this pullback here. What does this pullback line up to? Well, it lines up with the 200 EMA. So okay, now we have an idea as to where price could give us a pullback to before we could continue. Yeah, we know it could happen here, but we also know that, well, if this breaks, we know it could happen here. And this is where we'll continue to see that level 2 push on GU to continue the push to the top side. Right? We start looking at that in the 4-hour time frame, it starts making sense. Why does it make sense? Well, we know again, higher high, higher low, higher high. Could this be a higher low? Yes, to continue. But again, how do we use the lower time frame as an inducement to the higher time frame? Could we use this internal higher low here to induce traders in the lower time frame that this is where price is just going to continue to go lower, right? Trap those traders out and then go long. Now we start looking at that pullback area that we have marked up here. What does this pullback area also have in the lower time frames? The 800 EMA. That's also another confirmation, another line of defense, because we know that price respects the 800 EMA every single time, right? Could price do the same thing here? Yes, it can. We know that we had 2 weeks of rise. On the third week, which is this week, price ended up didn't give us that week high, and it just went counter. Again, that's okay. You know, we were in a higher high, we had to break a structure, we're looking for price to give us the pullback. And then internally we're still making lower low, lower high, lower low, and then here in the 30-minute it did give us a lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're trading between this 30-minute low and these 30-minute highs. And we had a day of no net. Price just moved sideways on this day. Now what do I mean by it just moved sideways? It went up, went down, went back up to where it started. It just kind of moved sideways. It didn't really do nothing crazy. Then we ended up having a bearish 4-hour candle. So GU will wait this one out just a little bit. We'll wait for price to start giving us those internal higher highs and higher lows for us to then continue. US30 daily time frame, we're in peak high territory. We're still making higher high, higher low. This is really one that I'm not actively trading, so I'm not gonna go too into detail with it. We're still making again higher high, higher low. We're still in the higher high. Let's keep it updated just so we have the lines, right? So we know this is what, 1800 on Sunday. PM on Sunday. We ended up having a no net. So price again. We had 3 weeks of rise. After 3 weeks of rise, market was chop or drop. Ended up giving us a chop. Ended up chopping. Moved sideways. Gave us a no net. So again, US30 is moving exactly how it needs to move, right? It's just some moves are cleaner than others. I like to catch the super clean ones. Give me 1 second, guys. Grandma's calling me. My bad, guys. So US30, we're still in this little 30-minute zone of consolidation. We still have a day of rise, no continuations, internal time frame again, just faking traders out, right? So we're going to. I'm not really on the scope with US30 just yet. USDCAD is looking good. USDCAD was one of the top performers this week. It was very nice. Right, there's a few things I'll say and I'll add about USDCAD. Right, which then goes to the trade that I chose to that I chose to take, which was gold on Friday. So let's go over. Sorry, I'm just reading over a message real quick. USDCAD, okay. So USDCAD, right? We know that USDCAD we're in V2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third push to the top side, right? Which is exactly what we have drawn here, right? We have the first push, the second push, third push, right? On USDCAD, same thing. We have the first push, second push, and we're looking for that third push. What did the first push get? Well, what did the second push get, right? Got the break of structure, right? What did we need? The pullback. So we know we got the break, push number 2, got the pullback. We're looking for that push to the top side. Well, what do we need before we push to the top side? Break of structure, right? From the top to the bottom, it resets. We need to see that break of structure to then give us a pullback to continue. So we know that USDCAD is not there yet, right? It's not there yet, but we know again we're at the top. Well, now we're at the middle of the zone of consolidation in that second push. We know that this isn't the best place to look for a trade, which is all good. We have no continuations, price still giving us lower lows and lower highs, but we also have the 800 EMA in the daily time frame. In the lower time frame, same thing. We're still trading between that same 4-hour high and 4-hour low, so we're not in the best spot. Once again, all of this internal noise is just that, just internal noise. But we had 2 weeks of counter drop. We know that again, just counter going against the trend. We can see that price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. In this lower low, right, the price gave us a clean break of structure. No. All of the candles are still testing. Was a testing candle, never closed below. And then these were testing again and price went back up to the top side. Right, we never had to break. So we knew that internal time frame, all we needed was a little shifting in character. Right, well, let's update this to a week of rise. Change of character, shift in the trend, whatever there's a lot of ways to call it. Change of character. And that's what we got in the lower time frames. Right, we know we were trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Price ended up okay, kind of rejected these highs. Right, price ended up giving us a little internal higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low. Right, in this higher high, higher low, we also had a 4-hour engulfing candle. So USDCAD really on pretty much Asia session, because this really didn't give us an entry during NYC. This was already at the high of the day. You know, the next day a little continuation, which was that Friday news, which is whatever, it's all good, right? But really these entries happened as soon as Asia session started. If you didn't catch it here, you weren't really gonna catch it, right? You had a nice little break of structure towards the start. Again, Asia session, London session of Friday's market open for the 372. Once again, it was very beautiful, right? Even the 4th day variation, right? We had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, market was, or after on the 3rd day when it gives us a rise drop, we know we could have a 4th day variation to continue the push to the top side. Again, that's exactly what price did. So if you were attentive to that on pretty much Wednesday's trade, you could have really held that. That was a really nice trade, very beautiful trade. So if you didn't catch us, again, if you weren't pretty much trading Wednesday's NYC, you pretty much missed this trade. The USDCAD was really nice, and then again it gave us 3 days of rise, gave us a change of character. We know now that we're trading between this 30-minute high up here and these 30-minute lows, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, and then this is all part of the same trend, higher high. So we're trading between this 30-minute high Yeah, 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, market was chopper drop, so I am expecting a pullback to happen for the start of the week. Once again, the external time frames, I do want to see that shift as well. I do want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows. I still don't like that price is in an external lower low, lower high, and we can see that in the 30-minute time frame that this could just be a pullback to continue. And again, we have a change of character. We want to see that break of structure. If price ends up giving us a break of structure, then we know we could continue into the continuation. If not, we'll have to wait this one out and wait for that change of character, break of structure to happen. Hope that's making sense, guys. Already an hour into the stream, so I'm gonna start kind of speeding it up just a little bit. USDZAR, we're in V2, we're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third push to the top side. We know price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. We're in the daily low, we're also in the low of the zone of consolidation, so this is our safety trade. Right, this is where we'll start looking for trades. We also know that we have 2 months to drop, this month being the third month. Price hasn't given us that low yet. Let's add a few lines here. I thought I added this when we did last week's session. That's my bad. Right, so at these lows, in this lower low, do we have an engulfing candle? Red, red, green, right? Green closed above the red, then it closed above the wick. Then we had a second green candle that closed, and we still don't have a pullback. Could this be where we're looking for price to give us a retest to continue? It could be. Not a strong engulfing candle. It's not really what I want to see, but it's following the rules of an internal engulfing candle, which is okay. If the first one doesn't break, you're looking for a second one, right? Just like a break of structure to do the same thing. It was an engulfing, close above the first, and then we're looking for a pullback, right? So could this be that? Could be. We'll see how it looks in the internal time frames, right? We know we had 3 weeks of drop. After 3 weeks of drop, market was chopper rise, and it ended up giving us a rise. So again, we can't even be upset. We understood that that was the move for this week. And then in the 30-minute time frame, going into the internal time frame, we had a beautiful change of character. Didn't give us a beautiful break of structure, but it did give us a break of structure. Gave us a pullback into the 50% fib retracement. I think it missed it by literally a fraction of a pip. And then it went straight into profit to give you that third push after the break of structure, the pullback to then continue, right? And it didn't give you a clean break of structure here. So the situation with USDZAR, right? I'm not looking at this as higher high, higher low, higher high. Why? Because this did not give me a clean break of structure, right? This green candle, all of these green candles here, green, red, green, right? Let's zoom into this. Right? These green candles here, all of them, right? If you look, green, green, red, green, green, they're all touching the line. None of them gave me a break of structure. Everything else after that, this red candle didn't touch the line, but it didn't close above the first green candle. It closed below it, right? Same thing with this one. It went back down to the line. Again, this green candle, yeah, it closed above the line, but what happened? It's still touching it. The second green candle, yeah, it closed above the line, but what happened? Never closed above the wick. Closed below. Price started trending back down. Boom. What happened? This green candle, it's still touching the line, right? It went back down. This green candle, which was the news, what happened? Yeah, it closed above all the other ones, but what happened? It's still touching the line. Then what happened again? Everything else went back down. So all of this, again, is just inducement in the market to make you believe that price is going to do something when it's really just not going to do anything. We're still trading between higher low, higher high. All of this is part of the same trend. This is not a significant pullback. I cannot say that this is higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. It doesn't make sense. I hope that makes sense for you guys. If it doesn't, let me know. I'll try to explain it some other way, right? But we know that we're trading between this 30-minute high this 30-minute low down here, and we know that price ended up giving us pretty close to a no net, but we'll mark it a day of drop. So once again, I'm looking for USDZAR. Would love for price to start turning around, but in order for us to start turning around, we need to get those confirmations of those change of characters and break of structures. Because again, yes, we're looking for price to go up, but we know that again, externally in the daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, we're still making lower lows and lower highs, right? We already know we reached the lower high. We understand we reached the break of structure, a retest of the previous break of structure. We know that price is either going to reject these highs or continue those. It's either going to reject the highs and go short, or it's going to give us the break to continue. And once we confirm it, well, okay, cool, we're looking for a break or we're looking for a rejection. What is price doing? It's rejecting highs. So we already understand that these pullbacks, again, these entries that we have here going long, it's just inducements, making you believe, oh yeah, price is gonna continue, and then what happens? Boom, one red candle goes right back down. If you didn't take your profits at STP, if you didn't take your profits at yesterday's high, and you thought price is just gonna continue to 1,000,000, you lost, right? So USDZAR is in a pretty weird spot, or really similar to USDCAD, right? And then again, makes you believe about US30, because if we understand USDCAD and USDZAR move opposite of US30, then we know if USDCAD and USDZAR start going down, we know 30 is going to continue that push to the top side, right? We're going to continue this internal higher high and higher low that we have. So this is where these correlations between these pairs, you got to start using them to your advantage. So we'll see. We had a lot of news for this week, so that's also something that went into consideration with a lot of these pairs. So gold, I was very excited to get into gold. Albert, you said, is it possible to immediately identify when price goes into consolidation? So yeah, you can. I mean, like, just to give you an example here on gold, right? Gold right now is in a zone of consolidation, just moving sideways, right? And how do we identify that? Just start seeing how price is moving, right? We started, price rejected these highs, or these lows, I'm sorry, right? Multiple times, went to the highs and started rejecting the highs multiple times, right? So already, let's delete Friday, right? Already by the end of Wednesday going into Thursday, right, we already knew that we were in a zone of consolidation by the time we woke up during NYC session, because we already saw, okay, well, price rejected these highs 3 different times, price rejected these lows the entire morning, pretty much from 4 a.m. all the way to the 10 a.m. news that we had. And at this point, we already knew, well, okay, here in the 30-minute time frame, we're either going to look for price to break, and it's a good example for gold because this is a trade that I took, right? We're either going to look for price to break these highs to continue the push to the top side, or we're going to get price to reject these highs. This is where the inducement is going to happen, right, to continue going short. So again, this is where the 30-minute highs and 30-minute lows come into play. The testing candles, none of these candles gave us a break of structure, right? This green candle is the first one that closed above. The second green candle never closed above the first green candle's wick, right? And this is where, again, we had 2 days of drop. Very easy. We're looking for a 3rd day drop. So okay, cool, we have the inducement. Now we start going into the lower time frame. I was doing it in the 1 hour, in the 1 minute. This is where you'll see I had this all drawn up, right? And I hope that's making sense, Albert. Let me know if it didn't. I'll go into another pair if you need me to, right? And we had same thing. So this is where we're looking for, okay, cool, the price is still pulling back to the top side, change of character, break of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And then this is where price started giving us lower low, change of character. Right? Then we had, not to confuse nobody, red because it's downtrend. Then we had break of structure. All right, boom, lower low, lower high, lower low, break of structure. And then we have a 1 minute engulfing candle, which is what happened here, right? Once again, price just gave us a lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low. All right, what are we looking for? Lower high. That was the entry. It's very beautiful, right? Top of the zone of that 1 minute lower high, and TP was in the 30-minute time frame to 372, right, which is over here. This was the trade that I took on Friday, and the entry was right before news. It was literally right before even NYC session started. It was like at 7:45ish, 7:30, 7:45 was the entry. Very beautiful. You can't ask for a better trade than that, right? And then it goes into what you were just asking now. We're like, is it possible to identify when price goes into consolidation? Yeah, right. If you're looking for, if you're looking for a daily consolidation, right? If we're in the daily time frame, you need a couple days for price. And I'll give you the example on USD. What pair is it? GU that we're in a pullback, or that we started the continuation. GU is good, but it's not what I'm looking for the example I want to give you. Yeah, which pair was it? That's like, oh, we have an GCAD, right? It's like, okay, in the higher time frame, in the daily time frame, we know we're looking for a second zone of consolidation now. So in order for us to have, for us to identify how a zone of consolidation could come to be, right? We need to be like, okay, cool. Well, we know we'll have a second zone of consolidation. If we end up having one super close to this area, we know it's going to be between this low and this high, right? But what do we need to look for before we could identify or even say that this is a zone of consolidation? We need to see, price coming back up, rejecting highs, coming back down to lows, rejecting lows, going to the middle, coming back to the lows, going back to the highs, rejecting highs, right? Once you see this happen 1 to 2 times, like by the time price gets back down here, if price ends up going high again, going back low, then we already know this is a zone of consolidation, and we already know, okay, in order for us to continue to find price to go long, we need to wait for these rejections of the lows. Once price rejects these lows, we know we'll look for those entries back up to the highs, right? And then again, we'll either wait for price to give us a break of structure to continue, or we'll look for price to again give us a rejection to go back down to the low, right? And then vice versa, do the same thing, look for entries again from the lows to the highs. So in the daily time frame, a zone of consolidation might take a few days, even to a few weeks, for you to be able to consider a zone of consolidation, right? In the 4-hour time frame, pretty similar, but in the 4-hour time frame is the same thing, right? It'll just be a couple, again, this is just a couple days, a couple hours of waiting, right? How did we know this was a zone of consolidation here at the highs, right? In a higher high, right? What did price do? Well, it went up, went down, rejected the lows, went up, boom, rejected the highs, went back down to the middle. So we already knew, okay, at this point, what are we looking for? We're looking for price to either break these highs to continue, or we're looking for price to break these lows, right, to give us that continuation. That's exactly what price did, right? Same thing here. Like, okay, cool, we had the higher low, we had the anchor, we have the engulfing candle, price continued to push to the top side, boom, higher high. What do we know about this area? Okay, internally, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. Cool, right? What did we need to see in these highs? We needed to see a break to continue. What did price do? Rejected the highs. Okay, it went back down to the bottom. What did it do at the bottom? Rejected these lows. So already at these lows, we already know, okay, cool. We're either looking for a break of the low to continue going short, or we're looking for the break of the highs to continue going long. And what did price do? Anchored the low, gave us an engulfing candle, continued to push to the top side, broke the highs, gave us a break of structure, gave us a retest, right? The retest of these highs right here, right? And it continued into the higher high. Now, what do we know here? Price didn't give us a zone of consolidation. it gave us a clean just boom, price went down. But that's in the 4 hour. If we go into the 30-minute now, a zone of consolidation, what does it look like? Right? Prices giving us lows, just moving sideways, rejecting the lows. Boom. By the time 1:30 a.m. hits in the Asia session, you already know you're in a zone of consolidation. What are you looking for? You're looking for either price to either break the lows or break the highs. Right? What did price do? It broke the lows. Very simple. Right? Very simple. I hope that makes sense, Albert. I could go into another pair if it doesn't. So, again, the question is a little long question because again, a zone of consolidation could happen in any time frame. The way you view them and how you can anticipate them happening are very similar ways. It's just one happens faster than the others, but you're looking for the same rules, right? You're looking for those pullbacks. You're looking for, okay, where did price reject? Is it rejecting highs? Is it rejecting lows? Are you looking for the break of the lows into a continuation going short? Or are you looking for break of the lows for a counter trend, a pullback, and vice versa to the highs, right? And also being able to see that is going to help get into those trades how gold was, right? Anticipating, well, okay, we're rejecting the highs. We know price has to go back down to the lows, but for price to continue going low, what do we need to see? We need to see a clean break of structure. Did we get a break of structure? No. Price gave us a testing candle and went right back up to the highs, and in the highs it did the same thing. So like in this case, if you're trading gold, technically speaking, trading both ways would have worked for you if you're looking at a zone of consolidation, because again, at these lows, if you go down into a lower time frame, which just happened during news, so you have to go into the 1 hour time frame, right, for you to catch those pushes back to the top side. Let's talk about that. I don't want to confuse you guys, but I want to do it because he shares some knowledge and gems in his streams. I want to share some gems too. I've been sharing some good gems though, right? But in the lower time frame, what are you looking for? You're looking for a change of character. You're looking for the break of structure, right? Price here moves so quick that if you waited for a change of character, break of structure, you got in pretty late, right? And it probably wasn't the best entry, right? There wasn't really any engulfing candles here either, so we can't say, oh yeah, this would have been a super clean entry, going against the trend too. But this is where again candlestick analysis comes into play. So my rule number one obviously would have been, wait for that news candle to close, right? The 15 going to the 30, and you start seeing a pattern where the pattern pretty much just is the exhaustion candles going short, which you can see it in the 15. You don't really see it here in the 5-minute because this is not a bearish engulfing candle, right? When you go into the 1-minute, what do you have? You have that V pattern. You have a little doji candle. So the 30-minute and the 1-minute is pretty much telling you price isn't really going to continue. And what I like about the 1-minute too, we have the gaps to play in our favor. We had a 1-minute gap here. Gave us a little bit more of a confirmation, right? If you wanted to take a little bit more of an aggressive trade, you could have really waited for these engulfing candles here, right, to then continue. If you wanted to take these trades here, any of these trades too would have worked. But a stop loss, you would pretty much be taking a trade from here with a stop loss down here, and it's a 1-minute time frame, so it's not too bad. But comparing a trade like this going against the trend to one with the trend, with the breaks, with the 372, it just makes a little bit more sense. It's a little bit more calmer, more peaceful than taking these. So again, I hope that makes sense. I just kind of wanted to give an insight on that. So to just continue with this real quick, or just to finish this class, I was been pretty late today, pretty long session. Yeah, it perfectly makes sense. I guess it depends on the time frame. Yeah, it really just depends on the time frame. Again, you're looking for the same thing. You're looking for the same system of things to happen. It's just, again, the daily time frame, it takes a little bit longer. You gotta wait for those candles to develop. But the 30-minute, again, if you're seeing price, is price moving sideways or is price trending, right? Like for example, price here is trending, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Price here, what did price do? Higher high, higher low. lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher. Like price is just moving sideways. So it's really just where is price trending? Even looking at it like this, like price is trending higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low the entire time, right? So it's those two things really. So 3 days a drop, on the third day gave us a drop. Could we end on a no net, on a drop no net? We're very close to the opening candle, so it could happen. So I'm not gonna update gold just yet in the 30-minute time frame. 4 hour, we're still trading between the same 4 hour high and 4 hour low. Similar to what I was saying on the 30, we're super close to that opening candle. So I don't want to mark it as a drop yet or a no net. Either way is good. We had 3 weeks of rise. After 3 weeks of rise, market was chopper drop. So that was another confirmation for us to continue to look for those shorts. We already knew that, for this week, we wanted to see price go short. And we have 3 months of rise. So again, this month I'm not expecting price to continue that uptrend push. So I'm not expecting it in the 30. I'm not expecting it in the daily. I'm not expecting it in the 4 hour. I'm not expecting those pushes in the 30-minute just yet. Right? Again, our confirmation for price to continue going long is going to be if we get the break of structure after the change of character. So if we could get this break of structure, then I'll start looking for longs. Until then, I'm short on gold. Right? So I'll update this tomorrow morning as well. Bitcoin, there's a lot of good news on Bitcoin this weekend. So Bitcoin has been really good. We'll start from the daily time frame. Right? Daily time frame, we know we're in V2, we're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third push to the top side. We know we're at the low of the zone of consolidation. Again, this is where price has been just moving sideways. We have no continuations. We have a month of rise last month. It's not a no, it's a month of rise. No continuations in the 4 hour. Price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs. Right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, but we could see that price started rejecting these lows, going back high. We had 3 weeks of rise. After 3 weeks of rise, market was chopper drop. Last week, price gave us a beautiful drop, reset the trend. Right? This higher low is invalid due to an inducement. EOS, when did I write that down? Oh yes, for this. Right? This higher low is the same reason for that other pair that we went over. But this was for the trades down here as to why these didn't work and why price went counter. Right? Ended up giving us change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? And then technically speaking, this is where price started turning around. Right? Gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low, and price is now giving us, still hasn't given us a clean break of structure, but it is giving us that break of structure, higher high at this point. So price could continue. We have a lot of good news with Bitcoin that came out, especially these last couple of days. Here in the 30-minute time frame, we had an engulfing candle. Wow, very beautiful, very nice. Didn't give us a retest though. Missed it by 28 pips. That would have been very nice on Friday. Damn, I was not looking at Bitcoin this entire week. I snoozed on that. Like to trade it, I wasn't keeping an eye on it. So news wise, we're caught up, but I should have been focused on taking these trades. It's all good. It happens. It happens. I had a good day on Friday. I wasn't focused on the charts. So we have the change of character, break of structure is happening now. It's a pretty small zone. I'm just gonna mark it this way. And then wait for price to do what it has to do. And then US oil daily time frame. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. Any other pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. US oil, we're in A1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the bottom. Again, we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, rejecting lows. We had 3 months of drop already, so I'm not looking for this month to give me another push down to the bottom. We could be expecting a pullback. Right? In the 4 hour time frame, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. Beautiful. Price is giving us a lower high to the top side. And again, our line of defenses. Right? In the lower high, after the lower low is created, we're looking for a bounce off the 200 EMA. We're looking for price to break above these highs. What happened? Right? Either reject the highs or go short. What did price do? It induced the buyers, induced the sellers, never gave us, a clean break going either way until now. You have a beautiful top break to the top side. So we already know, okay, cool. We're looking for now, what are we looking for? 800 EMA. We're looking for a price to break these highs over here. And that's exactly where price is at right now. Something like this. So once again, this is where price is either going to respect that lower high to then continue going into lower lows, or price is going to break these highs right? And continue that uptrend push and continue the higher time frame pullback, right? So now this is where you go into the 30-minute. 30-minute, you had lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, higher low, break of structure, higher high, price just consolidated and gave you the higher high, and it continued. You have 2 days of rise. This is all part of the same trend. This is not higher high, higher low, higher high. All of this is part of the same trend. Right, we know we're trading between this 30-minute low and this 30-minute high going counter. So once again, if price gives us a rejection of these highs, starts giving us lower lows and lower highs, which, all right, here in the 1 hour time frame, let's go to the daily real quick. Perfect. Here in the 1 hour time frame, what do we have in this higher high? We have an engulfing candle. So this is already one of our setups being created currently. Which again, we're still in a higher high, higher low situation, so I still wouldn't be looking for a trade here. What do I want to see up here in these highs? I want to see now in the lower time frame. I want to see that change of character, break of structure. Right, which if we can see, we're trading higher high, higher low. Right? Higher high. And this is where price gave us a change of character, lower low. Right? We're pretty much trading between the lower high and the lower low. Now, could we sit here and say, oh, but lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, and now we know we're trading between the change of character? Like, could we say that we're trading like this in the 1 minute time frame? We can, because we could see that could be happening, but would feel more comfortable, right? Speaking about, I'm thinking of this like tracks, right? We know that in the external time frame, all of this is completed, right? Because of these breaks that happen internally, right? So in order for us to shift where price is going to, right? Think of this higher low, higher high as the external look. What needs to happen internally for us to continue going short or for us to continue going high? We need to see those internal shifts, right? So this would feel more comfortable saying that, well, I'm not going to mark this as a significant pullback because we never really broke these lows to say that I'm trading between lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Still trading between the same low and high. However, we understand that we are trading from the high that made the push before the pullback, which is really this change of character. So in order for us to continue going short, I need to see that break of structure to continue, right? If we don't get that, this is where we'll start turning around and we're going back up to the higher high. But we need to see that in the internal move. So this is an interesting pair, US oil. So we'll continue to market. We'll continue to see, especially here in the 1 hour time frame. Once again, once we get into that pullback, we'll start looking at that internal shift. Right? Just keep it simple. Right? If you miss those trades on the bottom, you're looking for price to just break the highs to continue. That's pretty much it, guys. Any questions? Let me know. Anything else you guys want me to explain? Let me know. Any other pairs? Let me know. You know, truth be told, we don't have too many pairs to keep an eye on. You know, gold isn't really in a spot where I'll be like, yeah, you know, start taking a trade, because again, you have to be very disciplined, and I don't want to give off, you know, I don't want to give off pairs that I know people are just gonna start chasing trades. It's like if you can't see one thing, you're not gonna be able to see 5 things, right? So I'm not gonna call out gold for this week to keep an eye on. But USDZAR, this could be a really nice zone to start looking for a pullback for price to continue. Right, once we get this pullback, we'll continue these pushes up to the top side. USDCAD too, this is very similar to USDZAR, right? We're either going to be looking for price to give us a pullback to continue these pushes to the top side, or this is where price is just going to continue to turn around and just continue that downtrend push. US30 itself, you know, is also in that same situation where price is just moving sideways. Right now we got to just wait it out, kind of see. I want to see that external change of character, break of structure going short before anything else. GU, we're possibly still looking for a deeper pullback, so on standby with GU. GJ, I'm not trading it really, so I'm not really keeping an eye on it. GCAD, very similar to GU. Same thing, pretty much same thing. GA, waiting for the change of character, break of structure, waiting for a pullback. And I'm just kind of going through these pairs trying to see which ones look good again. EU, we're in a situation where we'll just have to look at price in these lows now. EU is a good one to keep an eye on. ECAD, no, looking for a pullback. EA, what do we say about EA? This one was same thing. Yeah, this one be a good one to keep an eye on. If we got this break of structure, we'll continue that push to the top side. And then AU for continuation going short. Be looking for a pullback on this one too. External, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So that's pretty much it, guys. Again, any questions, let me know. If not, we'll be done for today. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Any questions you guys have for the people who are going to watch the recordings, if you guys want to message me, let me know. I'll be home all day today. I have a one-on-one session already scheduled that I'm going to be doing today. So if you guys want to request a one-on-one session, again, join the Discord, message me, message E. You could either request one with me, request one with him. Any questions, you guys just message us. You can message me privately on Discord or in the chats. You know, I'm pretty much available all day. Thanks for your time, energy, knowledge, and resources. No problem, my brother. No problem at all. Alright, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow morning and then tomorrow evening for the market breakdown isolation session. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. We'll see you guys in the morning. Peace out.